So living in Florida, we are very aware of the fact that hurricanes, tropical cyclones can produce dangerous storm surges, dangerously high coastal water levels that affect our beaches and coastal communities. That is not just a Florida problem, it happens in many places across the globe. Unfortunately, with sea level rise, the likelihood that certain extreme water level thresholds are being exceeded has increased over time. In a recent study, we used tide gauge data to analyze how much more likely it has become that certain extreme events occur now versus 100 or 120 years ago. And we find that what used to be a 1 in 100 year coastal water level extreme event that has only a 1% chance of occurring in any given year is now already 12 times more likely because of sea level rise. So what used to be a 1% chance in any given year is now 12% chance in any given year. Or in other words, what used to happen only once a century on average now occurs more than once per decade. And that of course poses threats to our coastal communities. Interestingly, we were also able to dissect how much of this increase in the likelihood of extreme events was related to natural variability, the natural up and down of sea levels that we have observed or seen for the last thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, and how much of it is likely related to human-induced warming, which caused certain amounts of sea level rise over the last 120 years. And we find that while a good part of this increase can still be explained by natural variability, just the human-induced sea level rise alone has already increased the likelihood of those extreme events to occur by more than 4 times. And that is on average across all coastal locations that we studied. In some places, what used to be something that happens once in a century now already happens once in a year. And that is information that we should integrate into our planning of coastal management, and we have to plan future adaptation to make sure that our coastal communities remain safe under the threat of sea level rise and extreme storm surge events from tropical cyclones and hurricanes.